Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar, picking up with what is likely to be the last episode of our Kumarkland campaign. I got this event. This is a generic event for pretty much any nation that holds the Drawclan Peninsula. So you can read this. Alright. Give me the money. And now... Following the Deep. The legacy of Karkwaslu has been reclaimed, yet our pride still remains at the bottom of the ocean, held in perpetuity by those wretched creatures, the Sea Devils. Fortunately for Karkwaslu, blood feuds are Kar Alistair's specialty, and as a result he has been planning to strike back at the Sea Devils for months. Knowing that kinetic weaponry would tumble and rapidly decelerate in water, Kar Alistair has made it clear that any attack on the Sea Devils will require specialized spells. As such, while the army created testing pools multiple kilometers deep, every able-bodied mage in Karkwaslu gathered to discuss how they could strike deep into the ocean. While lightning and poison were popular at first, testing revealed that their effective reach was much more limited than first thought. After many more weeks of testing and debate, anything short of summoning the largest Damesteer meteor Bulwar had ever seen seemed to be an impractical option. So that's when they began to plan. But as all other options were being weeded out, a dwarven fire mage called Lubod Firebeard proposed a radical solution, burning all the oxygen in the water. Apparently, Lubod Firebeard had cleared a vast section of the surface spine of goblins and orcs by depriving them of oxygen. He believed that with some tweaks, a spell to burn the oxygen in the water could be devised. While the less experienced mages manned the forts in case the ritual backfired, the experienced mages manned the various magical installations, channeling their magic into ritual instruments. As the days went by, a haze appeared above the ocean. While steam began to rise from the surface, the ocean slowly began to turn first yellow, then a vibrant orange, and finally a fiery red, almost as if the whole ocean had caught fire. For the next couple of hours, the horizon remained a brilliant red as thousands of fish carcasses rose to the surface. Common fish carcasses were all that rose, however. By the end of the day, it seemed that all that was accomplished was the destruction of the local ecosystem and the reclamation of Karkwaslu's damaged pride. This was a pointless endeavor. Alright. So we're just gonna sit around and wait, pretty much. Yeah, good. Alright, what do we do next? Grand Library, don't care. Great projects. Decaying mind. Yep. And there should be stable government. Yeah, take the hit to 50 admin power. Alright. That we should have much cheaper advisors. Yeah. Expanded Royal Court. Right. And now we want to build one more trade fleet. tech trade in Bahar. Rasan, sorry. Move that trade over to Bahar. Economic hegemony. Might as well. Yeah, let's buy down corruption. Pay off loans. Alright. What is this? Whatever. Admin efficiency, why not? Alright. I can't go to war. I'm still waiting for our, I guess, mini disaster, whatever you want to call it, to happen. Alright. Do want to see how much my governing capacity goes down by. 2150. He's under dark. Local militias. Alright, so we go from... there we are. Should now be able to core up the rest of our empire. Even if it's absolutely worthless, I still want it. Especially Bulwar. Anything else I'd care a little bit less about. I don't care about coring this stuff up because it's giving me production bonuses to the province I do actually care about. Or goods produced bonuses, sorry. Standardized drill. Alright. These guys drill. These guys can move right here, and they can drill. These guys can move right here. Trade power. Good. Alright. Now I just want to build... over here. And yeah, why not? How else can I build those that is important? terms of ports, great power-wise, I am becoming the economic hegemon. Yeah, excellent. Wonderful, extra discipline. 10 Years Abolition Act. Could unite the cities of Bulwar, but I don't really like that color, and I also don't care about doing anything else. Any more cultures I want to accept? We have Sandfang Knoll, Manish, Desert Elf. See a Dew and Harpy. See a Dune Harpy. See a Dune Harpy. See a Dune Harpy. You can read this if you would like. Alright. These guys need to prepare. Need to stop drilling. Stop drilling. Expel him and bring his followers to the light. And with that, we can convert these provinces. They converted this province over. Ever since our glorious Kar al-Sur has avenged Karkwaslu's humiliation at the hands of the Deep Devils with his decisive strike against the seas, reports from the coastline speak of growing turbulence. Over the years, it is said that when the wind becomes saltier and more acrid, the distinct rotten stench percolating during the summer months. Sharks, dolphins, and whales, which used to incidentally wash up on the shore, now litter the pristine golden beaches with putrid decaying corpses, with a buzzing of ever-growing cloud of black flies silencing the sounds of the crashing waves. The few fish that are caught are often missing whole chunks of their body without any clear bite marks, almost as if they have been stripped of their scales and flesh. Fish markets, which once overflowed with trout, now lie desolate, with seafood becoming a luxury throughout Karkwaslu. Although trout connoisseurs frequently bemoan Alistair's name, seafood austerity is a cheap price to pay to avenge Karkwaslu's honor. Alistair's spell may have done something after all. Alright, so about 3 months. We will get the second onslaught. Perhaps there was a good reason why our ancestors had named the menace which had emerged from the sea during the onslaught as the Deep Devils and Sea Devils instead of something more descriptive of their actual appearance. Grotesque, twisted contortions of mangled flesh composed of interwoven lumps of cold, gray, slimy skin and tentacles form vaguely bipedal creatures, but reports vary as to how these abominations traverse upon terrestrial land. While some have leg-like appendages, others walk upon any number of feet, tentacles. Others yet slither on either flesh or clusters of tentacles, and a fewer yet crawl on the ground by pulling themselves forward with barbed tentacles. Although some have chunks of flesh, which resemble a head atop their bodies, these clusters of tissue serve no purpose, as their eyes, mouth, and teeth are all dotted across their body. Some dissected deep devils were found to have only one heart, while others had as many as 12 hearts, ranging in size from as small as a grape to as large as a melon. The largest heart found so far continues to beat like a drum, its sound echoing through the halls of the laboratory weeks after being torn out of its supposedly mortal bodies. Yeah. Further questions remain regarding the intellect of the deep devils, as the number, size, and location of their brains vary between dissected specimens. Some had no discernible brain matter, while others had interlaced clods of clammy tentacles which quivered at the slightest touch. A few sea devils have been found with burn marks across their body, but the vast majority seem to have not been impacted by the spell that was cast on the ocean many years ago. These dissected deep devils have confirmed our greatest fear. There is no uniform anatomy to these devils which we could exploit. To kill the devil require deep to kill a deep devil requires total annihilation of their deformed bodies. Kar Alasur, Emperor of all Kwanitsu, Conqueror of Bulwar, Immortal among Immortals, and Emperor evermore of Karkwaslu, has already begun rallying the troops, vowing to not only exterminate these abominations which dare pollute Karkwaslu, but also to rectify once and all for all the humiliation Karkwaslu faced at the hot tentacles of these deep devils. Alright. There. This army needs to head there. Alright. They can march that way. And they can get transported. Alright. Fortunately, it does seem like a whole bunch of them rose up over here, which is unfortunate. Alright. They can head back. Let's go this way. Head there. Alright. There, and there. Yeah. There we are. These guys can head to there. Right. Servant makes masterpiece. Yeah. How long do we have the second onslaught? Let's put the Elkahandi Court, sir. Alrighty, there might be additional uprisings. Storm arrives. For 5 days and 5 nights, calamitous storms ravaged the coastline, ripping apart brick and wooden buildings with equal ease. Once the storm subsided, all that was left behind was a flooded marshy landscape covered in rubble and debris. Hours after the last drops of rain had drizzled down, colossal waves crashed ashore, uprooting the few trees which had miraculously stayed upright. Eyewitness accounts differ as to how far inland the waves reached, ranging from 2 to 5 kilometers. However, all accounts agree that thousands of deep devils emerged from the receding waves. Citizens fleeing the deep devils recall hearing the distant screams of people pleading to be killed, put out of their misery. Vanguards of adventurers also reported hearing human voices in the midst of the deep devil hordes, but couldn't find the source of the voices due to the overwhelming number of deep devils in this new wave. With the arrival of the new waves of deep devils, perhaps was overly optimistic to expect our battle with them a year prior to have been the conclusive blow. Kar Alasur, Emperor of all Kwanitsu, send the devils back to the depths. Alright. So army can go, and we're just gonna march straight through there. This army can come here. March there. They can deal with that. They can come here. Alright. There, there, there. Alright. That way, these guys can head here. This army is going to go deal with the gem isle whenever that becomes a thing we need to deal with. Alright. Now we want to send this army here. Alright. Damn, there's deep devils over here. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to send an army that way. Yeah. Let us put the Sirach commander on there just so we go quicker. Not really following the road, but alright, there we are. And we'll take this. And they can come back. Alright. Grand Fortress. Don't care about manpower. And fire damage. Yeah. Right. This army will simply stay over there. Right. And we can siege down these provinces. Seas roar. Oh god. That's bad. 3 tsunamis struck our coastline, each time depositing ever more deep devils in the damp, boggy interior which had been scarred a year earlier. Although thankfully civilian casualties have been minimal due to the abandonment of coastal towns since the last year's disasters, garrisons stationed across the coast have remained silent, with only reports from the rearmost garrison castles having made it to the capital. The letters speak of deep devils weaving, consuming, integrating human limbs and body parts into their mass of gray tissue with no discernible purpose beyond making a mockery of flesh. Arms, legs, organs, fingers, eyes twitching as if they were trying to break free of their tentacles and gray, slimy flesh which shackled them. But that is the fate of those who could be considered lucky, as, unfortunately, the source of the human voices within the Deep Devils seems to have been uncovered. The Deep Devils have not limited themselves to only integrating human appendages, but somehow still fully conscious human heads, capable of not only crying out for help, but also fully aware of who they were before their mutilations and their integration into the Deep Devils. With such savagery at our doorsteps once more, it is no wonder that volunteers and veterans alike have answered Kar Alasur, Emperor of all Kwasnitsu, conqueror of Bulwar, immortal among immortals, and Emperor evermore, to call up arms ready to crush the darkness ashore on Bulwar. Alright. I need a general. They can go here. Alright. March. Yeah, at least they're not on any islands anymore, which is a small blessing. Right. Coastline is going to be rough. Right, those armies are doing fine. That's fine. These guys need to run this way. That's going to be an issue. They want to go ahead and attack that. Well, they don't want to, but they're going to. Alright. And for these guys... Right, head that way. These two armies can head north. Building that fort was a great idea. Right. They need to march this way. Besiege that. Besiege that. Besiege this. Alright. Yeah, my Soraka. Get pulled back. Armies. Alright. Battle's basically won at this point. Let's culture convert this to Sadnatu. Akadan. Yeah, those are getting dealt with. This can go back to... Can I convert that? Yeah, let's convert that to Seadu and Harpy. Right. That, he can head here. Are we done? Okay, where? Good. Head actually over to this mountain. Shamanham, Merkel Gulen, really? Alright. Is Kumarkland farming level 3 a thing? Yes, it is. Alright, that's good. The true onslaught. Jesus Christ. Alright. Yeah, I'm glad I left this guy over here. Barely had the sun risen over Kumarkland before the winds brought in the pungent, overwhelming, rancid smell of salt, decaying flesh, and dead fish, caused a local health crisis as nauseous residents filled the rapidly overcrowding hospitals. Messengers rode in, their face covers in cloth, reporting the sudden disappearances of Deep Devil armies without any storms nor tsunamis. Civilians say they blinked and Deep Devils appeared en masse in front of them, replacing the blue horizon of sea with a vast gray mass contaminating the landscape as far as the eye could see. Prioritizing military targets instead of undefended villages, the armies march in proper formation without their ranks immediately splintering into smaller despoiler groups. Unlike the savagery of the first few waves, Deep Devils this gargantuan wave are remarkably disciplined for abominations unblessed by Surakel's light. Within their rank there are three distinct groups of Deep Devils, with fossilized broken bones extending out instead of freshly mutilated human limbs, their gray slimy skin covered in hundreds of light gray scars and many with dismembered irregular tentacles. Weathered brown human skulls covered in barnacles and coral, ancient remains of brave humans who perished fighting the Deep Devil centuries, perhaps millennia ago. No doubt veterans of the first onslaught who destroyed the glorious first Karkwaslu Empire 2,000 years ago, brought in to finish the job. With our ancient enemy once more at our doorstep, thousands of patriotic citizens answer Kar Alisur, Emperor of all Kwasnitsu, Conqueror of Bulwar, Immortal among Immortals, and Emperor evermore of Karkwaslu, call to arms and rallied behind the banner of Karkwaslu once more. Everyone knows this will no longer be a fight of annihilation, but one of extermination. The question remains, will the might of Karkwaslu and Bulwar prove sufficient to quell this menace at its doorstep? Batur II beat them, end the second onslaught. Alright. Let's go. Okay, we did move our armies. Have probably too many armies in Katarata. Can't do anything about that now. I'm gonna go ahead and call up another army. This won't be nearly as good as the other ones because it won't be drilled at all. It's gonna have to be fine. Right. Yeah. Alright. That army is gonna have to recover for a month or two before it can continue on. Right. Yeah, it's gonna be brutal. Right. It's cool to just watch rebels ignore zone of control. It's one of my favorite things. They need to head that way. Alright. This army needs to escape. And they can head right there. And continue on. It needs to go right there. Now this is a good fight. I don't know why we're scared of a comet. We're literally fighting like demons at this point. Okay, where did we lose? No. This army needs to come south. I don't know if they killed a cannon. Probably should have read that more fully. Some of these provinces will get besieged. I just need to prevent the Deep Devils from enforcing whatever they would do to us. Should... Alright, these guys handle that. Okay, this army, they can deal with that. That's gonna be a defensive fight anyways. Okay, this army, hunting them down. Alright. And split that guy off. Alright. These provinces will all get besieged by the fort. Alright. So it's looking like we're gonna be fine. That was just a lot to begin with, though. This is the only area where the Deep Devils are still kicking around a whole bunch. Alright. One can go there. These guys can gang up. Nope, that one go right there. Army needs to come this way. Karkwaslu's finest hour. During the final battle between Akulakarn, Olisur, and the Deep Devils, Karkwaslu's army, which had felled many foes, vanquished ancient Karkwaslu's greatest enemy. Battle lines stood steadfast in the face of endless hordes of Deep Devils, while Idukatar charged into unsurvivable situations and returned alive. All while Akulakarn Arlasir continued his hours-long incantation, which slowly cleared the sky of clouds and to explode Surkel's light upon the ancient forces of the malevolent dark. When Akulakarn Arlasir uttered the last words, the Sea Devil's fates had been sealed. Thousands of small lens-like objects formed in the sky, as far as the eye could see, and beyond, concentrating Surkel's light into lethal beams which instantly slashed any Deep Devil targeted in two. One by one, Deep Devils fell. Once one Deep Devil fell, another was targeted until no Deep Devils remained on the battlefield in Bulwar. Karkwaslu's ancient foe was finally vanquished, and Bulwar was safe again. Alright. The idea initially met with disbelief, but it seems increasingly likely that the crest of the rogue wave has broken and Karkwaslu is still left standing. The seemingly unending onslaught on our shores appears to have stopped after the final overwhelming rush of nightmarish creatures from the depths. Many have paid the ultimate price, but it seems that this time around, the Deep Devils have failed in extinguishing the light among Bulwar's shores. The whole country awaits a proclamation from the palace with bated breaths, whether we should prepare for another desperate effort to hold back the forces of darkness, or whether the second onslaught is finally over and it is time to mourn our losses and celebrate the victory of light. Over the last 5 years, we have managed to exterminate an enemy which has tormented the First Karkwaslu Empire for over 50 years during the First Onslaught. Amid the jubilant empire-wide celebrations, however, an emotion greater than joy lingers within the crowds: serenity. For the first time since 1139, since the death of Batur II, the last king of ancient Karkwaslu, Bulwar has known peace. Although many times Bulwar has experienced conventional peace, the absence of war, the continent has been scarred by the unease left by the Deep Devils. Amid public fervor in the capital, Kar Alasur, Emperor of all Kwasnitsu, Conqueror of Bulwar, Immortal among Immortals, and Emperor evermore of Karkwaslu, got on top of the podium in Independence Square to give a speech. 2,000 years ago, Karkwaslu was brought to ruin during 50 years of Deep Devil onslaught. It is frankly remarkable that our ancestors 2 millennia ago were able to hold out so long against any enemy, which easily brought our whole coastline to ruin. Yet Batur II's dream of a grand Karkwaslu did not end with his passing, but stayed alive in the stories, songs, and myths of the people of Bulwar told each other. Make no mistake, our victory over the Deep Devils is not the effort of any one man alone. Rather, we stand tall because we stand atop the shoulders of giants. We stand atop the shoulders of Batar II's sacrifice, atop the shoulders of those who kept Karkwaslu alive for 2 millennia, atop the shoulders of those who freed us from the tyranny of Vamrahar, atop the hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers who fought the Deep Devils. Henceforth, our day of triumph over the Deep Devils shall be remembered as Second Independence Day. And we get shock damage received, rebel suppression efficiency, overextension. Okay, that's pretty good. And with that, I need to rejuvenate my armies, as well as... Where are my boats? Where'd all my boats go? All my boats can get together. Alright, so I want to take 40 ships. These guys, no. Where is the... There it is. This unit can go protect trade in Rasan. Meanwhile, this can take that off. And these guys can protect trade in Bahar. Alright, we're making 400 ducats here. Transferring. Alright. Just gotta rejuvenate the armies. Alright. Hitting the Kwasnitu way. I don't know if that event is or not. 1 inventor, 10 prestige. Alright. Soraka War Wizard. Alright, Ledger. Military. $521. How many men does Shaman Home have? I can build another army, why not? Alright. The first and greatest. Karkwaslu itself, just like Sarnagir, the Sun-Winged Herald, or the sun itself, is a physical manifestation of Surakel's will. The sun may set for a while, and the world is plunged into darkness, but there is always, always a glorious new dawn. Ours is the first and greatest empire that many lands of Bulwar have ever known. And while many generations have toiled after the first Karkwaslu fell to the abominable forces of the malevolent dark during the onslaught, their suffering was not for naught. Surakel's garden is once again in the hands of its rightful custodians, and this time we have proven ourselves more than a match for the forces of darkness from the depths, as well as the arrogant false god kings leading their followers astray while lazing around in luxury. Surakel's will is revealed through the enlightened orders of our beloved Akulakarn, and we shall strive tirelessly to ensure that this time the sun never sets on Karkwaslu. A ruined city once towered over Kumarkland. Decayed, weathered, and crumbling, yet its glory eclipsed even the greatest cities of Bulwar. Panu Karkwaslu was so glorious that it should have been inconceivable for it to ever be outshone. But now this ancient city has been enveloped by the ever-growing metropolis of Kumarkland, its expansive avenues filled to the brim with, and its megastructures eclipsed by our great projects. A once ruined city has been replaced by a vibrant one. Panu Karkwaslu is Karkwaslu's immortal heart. So long as the city stands, so shall Karkwaslu. Even in occupation or ruin, the heart shall continue to beat until the empire is whole again. Many enemies have tried and failed to destroy it. Twice the Deep Devils have failed. Many times seditious subjects have failed. And many more shall fail trying, for that is the inevitable future of anyone who tries. Kar Alasur walks the street of Panu Karkwaslu incognito in the body of one of his honor guards. Past the streets he once played in, the mage academy he once learned in, the palace he once ruled from, and past the great Grand Boulevard, which Boulevard he had held many parades in. For the first time in his life, he felt peace and clarity. Everything he had done in life, death, and in limbo had been out of self-interest. All the lives he had taken, sacrifices discarded, now dwarfed by the sheer quantity of lives he had improved. For once he had ruled as a selfless emperor, and for once everyone had come to praise his name. Overcome with emotions, he walked into the city center, unveiling his prismatic eyes and speaking to all around. Witness our glory and celebrate our name, for we are Karkwaslu, Bulwar's first empire, Surakel's first empire, and the only eternal empire. I, Kar Alisur, promise to you that so long as I live, Karkwaslu shall remain eternal. If one day Surakel forbid, Karkwaslu shall fall to ruin again, I will give up everything to restore it. But that shall never arrive, for we have built my empire and its capital greater than ever before, and such an accomplishment requires eternal celebration. Henceforth, Kumarkland shall be renamed Panu Karkwaslu, and I shall honor the legacy of Kumarkland by taking the name Kar Alisur Kumarkland. Blessed be our history and our glorious shall our future be. Long live Karkwaslu. We are the true heirs of Karkwaslu. So we get maximum absolutism and 10% governing cap, as well as a handful more claims. Alright, so that is the mission tree. I'm going to invade Zaka just so I can fix my name placement. Which is a really dumb reason, but I mean, this is EU4. I would like slightly better name placement. Alright, these guys can go to Ask Sir. I don't care about Bulwar. Alright, head back here. Right, so we renamed city in our capital. Excellent. Alright, that's better name placement. Sorry, I just had to fix that. Alright, so that is Kumarkland. Overall, I like the mission tree. I think the last bit of it is suitably insane. I don't know, just, you know, you're killing the cat, killing some weird demon things. You get elephant models, because why not? Let's take a look at our military. 95% cavalry combat ability is the big thing, as well as 120% cab to infantry ratio, and cavalry shock plus 0.25. Obviously, all of this is great. One of the reasons I was trying to grab this province was because I wanted to be able to release, what is it, Damascus, so I could request core back and get Damascus, so I could, or not get Damascus, but Sizel, Azka Sizel Uzdam, which, you know, would have been nice. We can still form Bulwar. Well, Surik has Bulwar, whatever you want to call it. We keep our name. I don't like the color. I could do the mission tree, but we're Karkwaslu. We're not Surikez. The thing about Surikez is it's supposed to be like the humans of Bulwar getting their own sort of self-rulership and deciding what they want to do with themselves for pretty much the first time. Whereas we're very much we've revived an ancient empire. We we know what we're about. We have uh, oh, we have uh, the Akulakarn here, who literally lives there and can tell us what we need to do. Old Sun Cold felt thematic, given Ancient Empire and whatnot. So yeah. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series, and have a good day.